There's always those few wrestlers, the ones who've worked their whole careers to achieve one goal: become world champion. Some never reached the goal, most never even had the opportunity, but once every blue moon there's always that one superstar to branch out. Something so special about that particular wrestler that even creative could not ignore. No matter the struggle, they rose above every obstacle to become the world champion. Let's find out how many superstars have worked multiple years to finally win and have their most well-deserved and well-earned championship. Years of being held back, years of being stuck in the mid-cards, numerous opportunities squandered. Even voted #1 wrestler in the world in 2002 wasn't enough. Multiple accolades, but one title always eluded him: the WWE title. That is, until 2006, ECW's One Night Stand pay-per-view changed it all. At One Night Stand, Van Dam went toe-to-toe with Cena. Even in his type of match, Cena was getting the better of RVD. Until we were saved by the rated R superstar. Edge speared Cena through a table, setting up for the 5-star, to the cheers of the crowd. Van Dam lifted the WWE title above his head for the first time in his career, celebrating with his fans and fellow ECW alumni. In 2006, Rey Mysterio was just another mid-card wrestler. Though he was popular all over the world, Rey never came remotely close to becoming world champion. His size held him back in WCW as well, even though he put on some of the greatest matches in the Southern promotion. After Eddie's passing, Rey had a newfound determination. When the Royal Rumble rolled around, Mysterio was the #2 entrant. Dedicating his performance to Latino heat, Rey lasted 61 minutes, longer than anyone else in history, and winning the 2006 Royal Rumble. Mysterio's wave of momentum continued all the way to WrestleMania 22, and after a classic performance, Rey pinned Orton after hitting the 619, finally becoming the world champion. So beloved was Daniel Bryan that fans actively took to hijacking shows, expressing their desire to see the celebrated in-ring competitor receive the push they believed he deserved. When it became clear that Daniel Bryan was so over with the fans that he could control the entire crowd with his yes chants, this led Vince McMahon no other choice but to adjust his plans by making room for Bryan and pushing him to the top of the industry. At WrestleMania, all of the loyalty and support Bryan enjoyed leading into the show paid off, where he would defeat Triple H clean in the center of the ring, and later that night defeated Randy Orton and Batista to finally become the world champion. After months of supporting the bearded wonder, fans jumped to their feet, eager to celebrate the win with Bryan, who looked out into the stands in awe. Jeff Hardy. His chances of becoming WWE champion were slim. Jeff was known more prominently for being the one half of the Hardy Boys. His unforgettable stunts and risk-taking attitude caused many to believe Hardy was a glorified stuntman. For almost a decade, the argument was valid. It took a long time for Jeff Hardy to get to the top of the mountain in WWE, but when he did, he was the most loved performer in the wrestling business. For a moment, it looked like Hardy surpassed John Cena from 2008 to 2009 by connecting with the fans with his unique personality and by having outstanding matches with Triple H, Edge, and CM Punk. Jeff in total had 3 title reigns that all came in a short 8-month time period, but Hardy was title worthy for a while before getting his first win. If WWE had made Hardy one of the faces of the company with a long title reign earlier, maybe he would have stayed around longer to ride the wave of success. Eddie Guerrero possessed a very rare but pivotal strength in his WWE work. The tremendous in-ring performer would make the fans despise him when he was playing a heel, but would force us all to fall in love with him when he openly lied, cheated, and stole his way to victories. His title win over Brock Lesnar in 2003 was a once-in-a-lifetime moment that made fans feel an emotion as if wrestling was not scripted. Guerrero launched himself off the top rope with a frog splash later, pinning the seemingly insurmountable beast and capturing the greatest prize the industry had to offer. With his family watching from the front row, the fan favorite and beloved hero of the ruthless aggression era celebrated the biggest and most important victory of his career. During his days in WCW, Chris Benoit and friends Dean Malenko and Eddie Guerrero were oftentimes referred to by industry giants like Kevin Nash and Scott Hall as vanilla midgets, guys who were extraordinary between the ropes but lacked personality and size to really make it big in the world of professional wrestling.
Ruthless aggression, toothless aggression.
Fast forward a few years, and Benoit was coming off of a victory in the 2004 Royal Rumble and was the #1 contender going into WrestleMania 20, where he would challenge Triple H and Shawn Michaels for the World Heavyweight Championship in the night's marquee match. In one of the greatest matches in WrestleMania history, Benoit clinched Triple H in the Crippler Crossface, forcing the game to submit. Finally, the Wolverine was at the top of the mountain. His best friend Eddie Guerrero joined him in the celebration, and world champions embraced one another in a hug, shedding tears of joy, a moment that will live on in our minds forever. Even if just for one night, the 20-year journey of wrestling's greatest technician culminated in championship glory, and the fans inside New York's Madison Square Garden erupted appropriately, the victory meaning as much to them as it did to the man holding the gold. After this moment, it was all downhill for Chris Benoit. With Eddie's passing, steroid abuse, and the injury-prone style of wrestling are a few reasons that led to the end of Chris and the unfortunate events that we all know by now. If you like to see more inaccurate weekly wrestling content like this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment about which wrestler do you think deserved a well-earned victory.